I think if you get consensus about throughout the scouting community, I mean, he's on his way. He's on, kind of in an upward trend. He started out coming into the league. No one really knew about him, and by the end of the league, he was one of the big contributors in April with the Canadian team. So that kind of tells you his growth this year. And our scout, Mark Gregas, saw him a lot out west. Big guy, skates well, handles the puck, got some poise. And again, I'm going to be repetitive here, but he's on the upward trend, so we're excited.
The second round pick?
Well,
go through them all, just for capsules.
Kubel there. I mean, he's another guy that probably a little bit under the radar, just overshadowed a little bit in Val-d'Or because of he played the big line, got a lot of minutes there. But Todd Hardy and Simon saw a lot of him in Val-d'Or and the Quebec League. And we're excited because I think next year you're going to see big things from him because he's going to get some of that quality ice time and big minutes that big line got this year. So we're expecting that he's going to have a big year coming up. He brings speed. He's a good hockey player. He plays both sides. He's competitive. So those are attributes that, from the forward side, that's pretty exciting.
Friedman.
Our guy in the USHL saw a lot of Mark in Waterloo there. He's going to Bowling Green next year. 5'10", 5'11", competitive, skilled defenseman. Plays both sides of the puck. He's got some skill. He can run the power play. He's mobile, and he competes. And he's going in a good situation in Bowling Green. He's going to get a lot of ice time. He committed real early. And people are going to ask about Bowling Green. Why Bowling Green? Well, they stepped up early on the kid. He committed, and he stuck with his commitment. So he's going to attend Bowling Green in the fall. And we'll see what happens.
Who's your guy in the USHL?
My son, Nick Pryor.
Lindholm?
Well, I think if we would have had this conversation last summer with him, there's projections that he could have been late first, early second round pick. He had a really good tournament with the under-17s last year, and for whatever reason, it happens. He slipped a little bit this year. We were on him from day one. We've seen him a lot this year. He's a big body, got a lot of skill. And from the blue line in, he's really good. So he's one of, like I said, he could easily been a early second pick, and we didn't think he'd be there where we picked him there. So. Well, one thing about Radal, he plays a North American game. I don't want to say he's untypical, the Russian type of style of game. You think of the Ovechkins and the Malkins and these guys. This guy plays a North American game. Hard-working kid, plays both ends. He had a little trouble, got hurt a little bit this year, so he's a little bit under the radar. But if you look at his playoff numbers, he had really good numbers in the playoffs, and I think you're going to see, as is Travis Sanheim, they're both kids that are on the upward trend. So right now he's trying out for the under-20 team in Russia, so he's got a really good chance of making that junior team next year. Pedersen? Well, he's a little bit older guy. He's been through the draft a couple times already, but we've seen him just by the scouting fraternity, we've seen him a lot in the last couple of years, and not an overly flashy guy. He just plays the game the right way. He's not big, but he's really thick. He's competitive, got a good stick, a really good head for the game. And he plays the game the right way, and he's a big leader on that with the Swedes this year. I think they missed him. He got a suspension there at the end of the tournament. They got a little pushing and shoving with the Russians there, and he got kicked out the last game. I think it really hurt the Swedes there. So I don't know if you guys remember the kid we had, Freddie Meyer, there a few years ago. He's kind of little similarities. He's not real big, but he's really solid on his feet, highly competitive, and he's a character kid. So another guy that, each one of these kids, our guys have spent a lot of time as individual scouts have seen. They stepped up on these guys and they like them. So we thought it was a good draft.
I think the Russian was drafted by the KHL, right?
Well, I mean, it's probably most of those guys are going to,
He wants to play over here, though? Or?
Well, yeah, he's in Calgary this year, so he's committed to coming back over here. And, he's a North American player.
Would you have taken him, though, if he weren't already in North America?
Well, you're going to deal with this. It's a tough question because you're dealing with that question over there. I mean, it's unfortunately with the KHL, it's those kids. It's an enticing thing for them to go back over there and play. So it's something that you probably do have to deal with. But having him being here and playing here shows you that he wants to play over here, and he wants to be a player in North America and try to make an NHL. So. He's kind of answered a lot of those questions already.
Can you talk a little bit about the depth of defensemen that you have in your system now?
Well, we feel good about. I mean, over the last couple of years, I think we've not so much of a conscious effort, but I think we've done a good job. Now we got Travis Sanheim, Friedman, and Pedersen there. I think we did a really good job of filling some of that gap maybe that we haven't had for a while, and we're excited about the depth we got. I mean, if you look at us right now with Haig and Ghost and Moran and now Sanheim and then a couple other kids in the American League, I mean, it's something that's pretty exciting.
Chris, what was it like working with Ron, and not just at the draft, but leading up to the draft and preparations, and was there any different feel at the table than Paul, perhaps?
I mean, Hexie and Homer, I mean, and Flyer philosophy, and Hexie's got a little bit, everybody's got a little bit different way of looking at things and different way of doing things, but for the most part, I mean, it was, it's the same atmosphere, the same environment. There wasn't any remarkable difference in our approach or the way we do things. But I think it's pretty exciting that our philosophy is intact.
Lindblom's a guy who you said he slipped a little bit over the course of the year, but some of his best games were really the Swedish junior playoffs and the under-18 Worlds. I mean, did you feel he kind of pushed himself back up again the way he finished the year?
Well, those tournaments, I mean, he seemed to rise at those tournaments. I mean, our guys seen him a lot in his league over there, and maybe a little bit inconsistent. It's tough for those kids sometimes. They get juggled back and forth.